Well, good evening. I'm Lori Ann Richardson, the President and CEO of the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce. On behalf of the Millbrae Chamber and the City of Millbrae, thank you for joining us tonight. Before we begin our program, I'd like to introduce our new Millbrae Chamber of Commerce student ambassadors to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Carolyn, David, if you'd come up, please. Please welcome Carolyn Yu and David Jeremiah Lokatui, both seniors from Mills High School.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Well, Carolyn and David were both selected for the Chamber Student Ambassador Scholarship Program, and that gives high school students the opportunity to learn how business works in Millbrae, at the end of which they're given a monetary scholarship award. And now to why we are gathered here tonight. The tradition of having an annual State of the City address in Millbrae began in 1998, when the Chamber hosted the very first State of the City in conjunction with Millbrae's 50th anniversary. The Chamber has been honored to continue hosting ever since, making this the 18th annual Millbrae State of the City Address. We're very fortunate in Millbrae. We have a city with many qualities envied by other communities, including an ideal location between San Francisco and Silicon Valley, and it's all accessible by our multimodal transportation hub. Violent crime is low and quality of life very high in Millbrae, in no small part because we have a strong sense of community here. Our city staff and our representatives are dedicated to keeping Millbrae the kind of place we love to call home. And we have with us tonight the Honorable Reuben Holliber, Vice Mayor of Millbrae, and the Honorable Ann Schneider, who brought her parents Jacqueline and Richard this evening. We also have our hardworking city manager, Marcia Raines, with us tonight. And I'm not sure how Marcia handles everything that gets thrown at her, but somehow she manages, and that's no small feat. We also have a couple former mayors with us this evening. The Honorable Marge Colapietro, former mayor of Millbrae, and the Honorable Dan Quigg, former mayor of Millbrae. We have City Planning Commissioner Catherine Quigg and City Planning Commissioner Maureen Davis. We also have former City Treasurer Mary Vella Tressler. And we are, yes. Oh, so sorry, Robert. How would I forget you? And our most recent former mayor, Robert Gottschalk, is also with us, and we're delighted. Thank you, Marcia. We also have the Honorable Consul General of Malta, San Francisco, Mr. Luis Vela. And we are very honored to have three special guests all the way from, not yet here, I'm being told. Well, we will have three special guests from Japan joining us at some point this evening, and we can introduce them when they do arrive, if you let me know. And I'd like to recognize that we have representatives here from the county, the state, and the national level. Mark Nogales, Constituent Services Director, Congresswoman Jackie Spears' office. Jeffrey Liu, Field Representative at California State Senate, Senator Jerry Hill's office. And Randy Torrijos, Legislative Aide at the Office of Supervisor Dave Pine, County Board of Supervisors. Thank you. Now, if anyone else needs to be introduced that I didn't mention, or any walk-ins that came in, please raise your hand. We'll be happy to introduce you now. Okay, so on to our event sponsors for tonight. We have the Magnolia of Millbrae, and their representative, Sherry Plambeck, is here tonight, Director of Marketing at the Magnolia. South San Francisco Scavenger Company, Millbrae Walgreens, And our new sponsor, Mr. Luis Vela, the Honorable Consul General of Malta, San Francisco. So before I introduce the mayor, a little chamber history. Millbrae Chamber of Commerce was established in then newly incorporated Millbrae 67 years ago. Hard to believe. So since 1949, our members have been composed of businesses large and small, including most of the mom and pops you see up and down the business district on Broadway. Through active promotion of the community and its business sector, along with sponsoring popular community events, the Chamber helps ensure that Millbrae's economy and a sense of community remain strong. And now it's time to introduce our keynote speaker of the evening. Mayor Oliva's time on City Council began in 2013, and she won re-election in 2015, serving as vice mayor before becoming mayor in December of 2016. Or 2015. Graduating from Notre Dame de Namur University in Belmont, Mayor Oliva has worked in the real estate business since 1983. She is now the broker-owner of Marshall Realty in San Bruno, a family firm founded by the mayor's father, Bob Marshall Sr., in 1959. Living in Millbrae since 1991 with her husband and her 3 children, Mayor Oliva somehow found time to do an impressive amount of volunteer work, including her share of time on school PTAs, the Mills High School athletic boosters, even chairing the Italian-American Women's Guild Scholarship Committee. The mayor is also the local coordinator of the Coats for Kids program. Mayor Oliva has a lengthy service record with SAMCAR, the San Mateo County Association of Realtors, and her list of accomplishments there are frankly much too numerous to recite. But her service includes serving on the SAMCAR Board of Directors as president and on the board for the SAMCAR Foundation. And as if that's not enough, the mayor also has been a federal political coordinator assigned to Congresswoman Jackie Speer for the last several years. Her special awards include SAMCAR's Community Service Award for her work with RSVP, Coats for Kids, and the recognition for a dinner she organized for the San Bruno pipeline explosion victims. Yeah, that's very applause-worthy. I've had the pleasure to work with Anne, and I'm always amazed with her very genuine enthusiasm and her determination to do everything she can to help improve Millbrae for all of us. And I am very pleased to welcome the Honorable Anne Oliva, Mayor of Millbrae.
Good evening, and welcome to the 2016 Millbrae State of the City Address. We do have a lot of dignitaries in the room, and I am so grateful, Lorianne, for you to mentioning them all by name, because I know if it was my job to do that, I would have missed one of you. But I sincerely thank you for being here and your contributions to our community. I want to thank our sponsors, too. That's so generous, and we always can use that support for these kind of events. I'm very pleased to report that the state of the city of Millbrae is good, and it's on its way to be great. I'm sure that you all have many words that you use to describe our city, and tonight I will describe Millbrae using 5 words that link directly to the 5 equally important strategic goals your city council and staff are striving to achieve. The first word is location. We have a fantastic opportunity with the Millbrae Station Area Specific Plan. That's why making specific progress on the Millbrae Station Area Specific Plan is our first strategic goal. When my children were young, when I raised them in Millbrae, they used to walk and ride their bikes to school. Today, some kids in Millbrae take the train or BART to school. Time changes, but transportation is a vital part of all of our lives, and our intermodal station is a unique and valuable aspect of our city. And now we have a developer that wants to invest in our city, build on the value of the station, and transform it into a thriving new community where people live, visit, work, shop, and will dine. Our talented staff is now working with the developer to ensure their plans provide Millbrae with a project that will deliver benefits for the entire city. We have gathered input from the community, heard from what you are passionate about, both your wishes and concerns, and we are working to incorporate that feedback into this location. The second word is vibrant. To keep our city finances healthy, we need a vibrant downtown. That's why strategic goal number 2 is to execute a downtown economic development plan. After all, a city without a vibrant downtown is like a potato with no salt. Being a business owner, I truly enjoy the hands-on work involved with this goal. When I open the doors to my business each day, I'm focused on how my entrance appears. That first impression is so important. And with that in mind, we are working with property owners and tenants to create a vibrant downtown that presents a fantastic first impression that entices residents as well as people from surrounding cities to come and spend some time and money in our town. As part of the Economic Development Subcommittee, one of the council members and I recently visited each business on and near Broadway and asked them to participate in Operation Clean Sweep. Operation Clean Sweep is working directly with the businesses to explain the importance of everyone helping to clean the downtown streets. Operation Clean Sweep was in part inspired by the voices of the community that asked for help with the trash and the cigarette butts that all too often accumulate on the streets downtown. If you have been downtown lately, you may have noticed the new larger garbage cans with tops and new ashtrays too. This campaign just started and runs for the month. Please let me know if you'd like to contribute with this effort. The third word is responsible. The truth is, sometimes the most responsible things are not the most popular things to do. But being responsible means doing what needs to be done, which leads to our third strategic goal: developing a process to repair and update our infrastructure process and create a budget plan to support it. No one here would say that our streets are in great shape. And there isn't much glamour in talking about the condition of our sewers, pipes, and our sidewalks. But I'll be damned if I don't hear about this subject every day from somebody. As you may know, we deferred maintenance on these systems for several years until the city finances were in better shape. But a city with poor infrastructure is a city in decline, and that is not Millbrae. To make progress on this goal, your city council has budgeted $10.7 million for street, sidewalks, and lighting repairs and improvements. The fourth word is safety. And while it may not be our fourth word, I assure you, it is a #1 priority. Implementing a public safety improvement plan is a top strategic goal. Just a month ago, I had a personal experience that brought home the topic of safety and what it feels like to be a victim. My daughter, who lives in New York, was a victim of something I would have never thought would have happened. She was catching a taxi when 2 women approached her and assaulted her. We all know these things happen, but we don't expect them to happen to us or those that we love. Last week, when council heard from the residents that were victims of break-ins, I had a deep understanding of how they felt. Something we don't expect to happen in Millbrae did, and the uneasiness and the fears that arise are understandable. The City Council and the Police Department are focused on solving the increased burglaries in Millbrae. We have a new chief Robert Copeland, and one of his first tasks since joining, the chief created Burglary Enforcement Saturation Team, known as BEST. The sole purpose is to identify, report, and arrest those responsible for burglaries in our city. There is a community meeting coming up soon where the chief and his staff will meet with residents to work together to drive the criminals out of our town. We're working on the issue and the commitment to the community safety and ultimately making Millbrae the safest city. The fifth word is future. And as we focus on our short-term goals, we must also look to our future. The best way to predict the future is to create it. As part of this process, it is important to get a bird's eye view, or in today's words, we probably call it a drone's eye view of Millbrae. Where do we want to be in 20 to 25 years from now? That is why our fifth goal is to make significant progress on updating our general plan. A general plan is how the city envisions and then creates its future. It's also a state requirement. Building a general plan requires input from many stakeholders. Staff has already conducted well-attended community meetings and has many more planned in the future to get as much input from our community as possible. We've also hired an outside firm with deep expertise in general plans to facilitate this process and help us achieve this goal in a timely and a professional manner. We will weave together a plan that takes what's great about Millbrae and builds on it so that we can evolve with changes that we anticipate and include through flexibility to confront the unexpected. It's about seizing the opportunity, many of which are already here, and more will emerge as we work together. As your city council, we understand there are many things we could do, but you elected us to make hard choices because time and resources are not infinite. So we chose to focus on what we think we should do, specifically to accomplish 5 goals, summarized by 5 words tonight: location, vibrant, responsible, safety, and future. Great things are happening in Millbrae, and our mission going forward is to stay focused on these goals and finish what we started. But we can't accomplish our mission without your support and your input. I close by reminding you that none of us is as powerful as all of us. So when you call us with your problems and your concerns, I invite you to help us all by sharing your suggestions and possible solutions. Together, we can continue to make Millbrae even a stronger community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor Oliva. That was very inspiring, and you gave us a lot of good information tonight, and we definitely appreciate your service to the community, your wonderful enthusiasm, and your dedication. And the Millbrae Chamber will continue to work with the city, and we want to help shape the best possible future for Millbrae. So before we adjourn, I would like to thank our student ambassadors again, Carolyn Yu and David Jeremiah Lokatui, for helping out tonight. I also want to thank my wonderful office staff, executive assistants, Ashley Gomez and Genevieve Deep. There they are. Genevieve's at the table back there. They worked very hard to put this evening together for all of us. And also our generous event sponsors, once again, Magnolia of Millbrae, South San Francisco Scavenger Company, Walgreens, and the Honorable Consul General of Malta, San Francisco, Mr. Louis Vella. And our thanks to MCTV, who taped the event tonight, Aaron Fellows back there on camera. You can watch this program online at mctv.tv, videos on demand. And as I said earlier, in Millbrae, we know each other and we help each other. It's who we are. So thank you for coming and good night.